Imagine walking into a room filled with strangers, and before you even utter a single sentence, the entire energy shifts in your favor. People naturally sit up a little straighter, lean in to catch your words, and automatically treat your opinions with immense weight. In our fast-paced social world, we are often led to believe that earning respect requires decades of achievements, absolute dominance, or an aggressively loud personality. But behavioral psychology reveals a completely different reality. Genuine, lasting respect isn't something you loudly demand. It is something you silently command through highly specific, subtle psychological adjustments that bypass logical filters entirely. Over the next few minutes, we are going to break down 10 powerful psychological tricks that research suggests make people respect you instantly. We will explore the hidden dynamics of nonverbal authority, linguistic boundary setting, and neurological status switches that dictate how human beings evaluate worth. By the end of this video, you will possess a practical blueprint to completely transform your social presence, including a massive psychological revelation in our final minutes that completely flips the script on how respect is truly manufactured. To understand how to command a room instantly, we must first master the art of deliberate physical presence, starting with the psychology of measured movement. When a person is anxious or seeking approval, their body betrays them through micro-fidgets, rapid blinking, and constant shifting of weight. To the subconscious mind of an observer, these erratic movements signal low status and a lack of internal security. Neurological studies indicate that high-status individuals naturally move with smooth, deliberate economy. By consciously slowing down your gestures, taking a full second before responding to a question, and maintaining a relaxed but solid posture, you project absolute comfort in your environment. You are silently communicating to everyone around you that you are not threatened by the space or the people in it. This subtle shift immediately triggers a subconscious respect from others, as human beings are evolutionarily wired to look up to those who remain completely calm under the pressure of observation. Moving from physical presence to the mechanics of conversation, the second trick involves a highly counterintuitive tool: the strategic use of silence. In social interactions, most people suffer from a deep fear of awkward silences, rushing to fill every gap with nervous chatter, filler words, or over-explanations. When you over-explain your decisions or speak too rapidly, it signals to the room that you feel a desperate need to justify your presence. High-value individuals utilize the power of the pause. When asked a complex question, they don't react instantly. They pause for 2 or 3 seconds, look the person in the eye, and comfortably hold the silence before delivering a concise answer. This brief pause completely alters the power dynamic. It shows that you are a deep thinker who controls your own timeline, making your eventual words carry twice as much psychological weight. It forces the listener to tune in closely, turning your silence into a vacuum that naturally pulls their respect toward you. The third trick shifts focus to the language of accountability, specifically the art of the direct apology. We live in a culture of chronic over-apologizing, where people constantly say sorry for taking up space, asking a question, or simply existing in a room. When you apologize for minor, non-offensive things, you inadvertently lower your own social value and train people to view you as subordinate. Behavioral scientists suggest replacing reflexive apologies with expressions of gratitude or objective statements. Instead of saying, "Sorry for being late," try saying, "Thank you for your patience." Instead of saying, "Sorry to bother you," simply state your question with clarity. When you eliminate unnecessary apologies, you project an aura of clean professionalism and emotional maturity. People will respect your boundaries more because you are demonstrating that your time, space, and voice are just as valid as theirs. This leads us directly into the fourth trick, which centers around a concept known as conversational control through conversational pacing. In group discussions, it is incredibly common for low-status individuals to be interrupted or spoken over. The natural instinct when someone cuts you off is to either stop speaking entirely or raise your voice to compete. Both reactions signal a lack of control. The psychological trick to handling an interrupter is to maintain your exact vocal tone and pace, continuing to speak as if they hadn't opened their mouth at all. Do not speed up, do not look angry, and do not stop. When you calmly continue your sentence at a steady rhythm, the interrupter is forced to either loudly talk over you, which makes them look socially clumsy, or step back and let you finish. By refusing to let your conversational space be hijacked, you display an unshakable confidence that commands instant compliance and deep respect from the entire room. The fifth trick involves a subtle visual technique known as the focused gaze shift. While constant, unblinking eye contact can feel aggressive and unnatural, shifting your gaze too frequently signals submission or deceit. To build instant trust and authority, psychologists recommend focusing on a specific triangle on the other person's face, moving your eyes between their left eye, right eye, and the bridge of their nose. When you maintain this controlled zone of focus, especially while listening, it conveys intense presence and active engagement. It signals to their subconscious mind that you are entirely unfazed by their presence, fully processing their words without being intimidated. This highly focused gaze makes the other person feel uniquely seen and valued, while simultaneously establishing you as a strong, formidable presence in the interaction. The sixth trick shifts from listening to how we speak about others, utilizing a phenomenon known as spontaneous trait transference. When you gossip or criticize someone behind their back, the human brain unconsciously associates the negative traits you are describing with you. If you call someone untrustworthy, the listener's subconscious begins to view you as less trustworthy. To leverage this psychological trick for respect, become the person who speaks highly of others in their absence. When you highlight someone else's competence, dedication, or intelligence behind their back, the listeners naturally transfer those exact positive attributes onto you. It projects an image of a secure, high-value individual who is entirely unthreatened by the success of others. This builds immense social capital, ensuring that people feel completely safe around you and respect your character implicitly. The seventh trick involves the absolute power of saying no without providing an excuse. When people ask for a favor that we cannot or do not want to fulfill, we often deliver a long, elaborate story explaining why we are unavailable. This over-explanation is a clear sign that you feel guilty for setting a boundary, which invites the other person to negotiate or push past your limits. True authority lies in the clean refusal. A simple, "I can't take that on right now," or "that doesn't work for my schedule," delivered with a calm smile and zero justification, leaves no room for debate. It signals that your boundaries are firm, your time is highly managed, and your decisions are non-negotiable. People will instinctively value your yes much more when they realize that your no is an absolute, unshakable boundary. The eighth trick dives into the art of validation through specific, observation-based compliments. Most flatterers use generic praise like "you did a great job" or "you look nice," which often feels hollow, manipulative, or desperate for approval. High-respect individuals praise the process, not just the outcome. By pointing out a specific, highly nuanced detail, such as "the way you handled that difficult client's objection was brilliant," or "I really admire your discipline with your morning routine," you prove that you are an astute observer of human excellence. This shifts you out of the role of a desperate pleaser and places you in the position of a respected evaluator, making your praise highly coveted and deeply respected. The ninth trick centers around emotional sobriety during conflict. When tension rises in a meeting or a personal discussion, the average person reacts with visible anger, defensive posture, or passive aggression. These emotional spikes are immediate indicators that the environment is controlling you, rather than you controlling the environment. When faced with hostility, the ultimate power move is to lower your vocal volume and drop your pitch slightly. By remaining completely soft-spoken and objective while the other person is escalating, you highlight their lack of control. This creates a psychological mirror that forces them to recognize their own erratic behavior. Your absolute emotional sobriety commands the room, instantly positioning you as the natural leader of the situation. Now, we are approaching the final part of our journey, where we uncover the most profound psychological revelation regarding human respect. We have looked at pauses, boundaries, posture, and pacing, but there is a much deeper, almost paradoxical law that governs true status, a concept known as the competence-vulnerability loop. This is the single biggest takeaway of our exploration, and it completely turns standard power dynamics entirely on its head. Most people assume that to gain absolute respect, they must appear completely flawless, invincible, and entirely self-sufficient at all times. They hide their mistakes, mask their struggles, and refuse to ever ask for assistance. But behavioral science indicates that hyperperfection actually breeds deep suspicion and social alienation. A person commands the highest level of respect when they possess undeniable competence in their field, yet are entirely comfortable admitting their limitations, owning their mistakes, and asking for help when needed. When an obviously capable person calmly says, "I don't know the answer to that, let me find out," Or, "I made a mistake on that report, let me fix it." A massive psychological shift occurs in the minds of the observers. By refusing to hide behind a mask of perfection, you display a profound, bulletproof security in your own self-worth. You are essentially showing the world that your value is so high, a minor mistake or a lack of knowledge cannot diminish it. This rare blend of high competence and radical transparency creates an unshakable trust. People will not respect you because you are perfect. They will respect you because you are entirely real, transforming you from a distant authority figure into a deeply revered leader. Commanding instant respect isn't about manipulating others or putting on a theatrical display of dominance. It is about cultivation of an unshakable internal standard and respecting yourself so deeply that the world has no choice but to follow suit. When you carry yourself with grounded composure, speak with deliberate intent, and hold your boundaries with quiet grace, you naturally align with the highest principles of human value. True respect is never fought for or begged for. It is the natural, inevitable reflection of how you treat your own mind, time, and presence. If you found these psychological insights valuable, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into human behavior. We want to hear from you. Which of these tricks do you think is the most effective in daily life? Share your thoughts and personal experiences in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.